Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to the stream. So today we are going to be playing some Minecraft. I was thinking of perhaps draining some water-filled sectors like I promised for a future perimeter. So that's what I thought we could be doing in today's stream. I might switch games halfway through the stream if that's something you guys would like GD for example, like playing some levels that you guys request and stuff. So yeah, that's what I had in mind for today. Just a small change in what game I stream for the first half, so yeah, there's that. And by the way, if you can hear that noise in the background, I have my ventilator activated. Nowadays temperatures are like at an all-time high, and I don't really have like an air conditioner, so I'm using a ventilator for a change. I feel like maybe in like a month or a month and a half, the temperatures will plummet. So it's going to be a bit easier to breathe. Also, I may have finally gotten back to streaming on Twitch. I'm currently grinding Ouroboros before finally committing to my next hardest. Holy crap. Good luck with that, my friend. Ouroboros is a really difficult extreme. You're definitely gonna need it. Bro, tell me about it. The weather has been awful lately. Yeah, right? Summer is pretty unforgiving with how warm it can be outside. I feel like summer has its pros and cons. When it's warm outside, you don't have to spend a lot of time like choosing what you have to like wear outside. There's no like fishy business or anything. You just wear what you would wear during summer. Summer is supposed to be enjoyed to the fullest, after all. Although in exchange, we also have these ridiculous temperatures that living without an air conditioner or a ventilator, if you don't have an air conditioner, is basically impossible. Even if you don't have like an air conditioner, a ventilator still gets the job done. I'm making surprisingly light work on Ouro. I'm 5 streams in with 4.4k new attempts and I have the level in 3 runs. That's crazy fast. That's crazy fast. Good job, my friend. I wish you the best of luck on that level. I know how unforgiving it can be. I have seen some people going haywire on that level, given how merciless it can be at times. I really am praying that I will one day return to playing GD as much as I play Minecraft nowadays. Minecraft is like the only game I play. As much as I don't like admitting it, or never thought I would admit. Yeah, Minecraft is like the only game I'm playing most of the time nowadays. The reason I'm not really playing GD as much is because of, well, the new physics. The new physics were a disaster. Like, it's hard to... How do I put it? So basically, I find it a little bit silly relearning the ship after like 10 years of playing the game. I find that to be kind of silly, so Most of the time I'm just playing in 2.1, you know, for the sake of convenience. Oh, there's a drown. Honestly, I think the level is overhated, lol. I've been enjoying my grind with it. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. You never know. Experiences are different for everyone. Well, yeah, that is true. It's just a little bit different. The ship in 2.2 feels like you're playing in 2.1, but without FPS bypass. So basically 60 Hz with vertical sync. If Raptop by some miracle changes the current physics to what they used to be like 10 years ago, I am going to consider returning to GD. But given how physics currently work, I don't think there's a possibility in that. Oh yeah, I forgot you were streaming. It happens, Pixel. It's not your fault. I stream pretty infrequently, unfortunately. And yeah, welcome to the stream, Pixel. Welcome, my friend. Let's quick mine all of these. I feel like once I finish draining this sector over here, I'm going to activate the mob switch so that there's no funny business while we're draining all of this stuff over here. So far, these sectors are pretty forgiving, but it's going to get worse as we explore further. Let's activate hitboxes. Oh my, look at that ginormous little thingy. Yeah, this thing is pretty merciless. This thing shows no mercy. It happens, it happens. And welcome to the stream, Hatetag. And I know I'm a bit under a rock, but congrats on getting a mod in GD. You deserved it. Well done. It's felt the same to me personally. Granted, I can barely tell the difference now since I switched to playing on a booting keyboard. Ship used to be harder for me until I adapted. I guess that's reasonable. You know, I've also thought of switching to playing on a keyboard, you know. It might be a bit silly switching to a keyboard since I've been playing on a mouse for this long, like for I don't know how many years, nearly 10 years of playing on a mouse, and I thought of switching to a keyboard, but it might be a bit more convenient, you know? Despite appearances, it could be a good change. From what I heard, playing on a keyboard makes it so that you can spam a bit easier, which will definitely help me in some levels I've planned. You know, I have like what, 72% on double vortex that I got in like somewhat late April. And my main issue with that level is just the spam at 55. If I get used, or if I get somewhat consistent on that spam at 55 by some miracle, then I think I could finish that level off in like a day. Every other part seems pretty reasonable. We are smooth sailing if I ever get consistent on that little mini wave. From Flynn viewer to actually working for the game. Yeah, right? Time passes and like time really does fly by when you're having fun. Yeah, I mean I can, but when you're doing it on a keyboard, it's so much easier, you know? Like, there's no way that your hands will, like, slip, you know? If you're spamming on up arrow, it's not like you're trying to spam on a mouse. Your mouse is likely bound to slip after spamming so much. It really depends on who's doing the spamming. I do better on keyboard, but others might do better on mouse. Yeah, well, it's different for everyone. What are these numbers you're throwing at me, lol? Either way, 2.1 is just so much easier for 60 FPS spam. Well, I guess that makes sense. 2.1 was just a lot more convenient. Because, you know, 2.1 existed for like 7 years until 2.2 came in. And now you have to like adapt to these atrocious ship physics that not everyone wants to like get used to. Holy crap, I forgot to mention I'm literally out of sand. There's only like one farm I have in the end. I have to fly back to my house so that there's no funny business with hostile mobs. Gotta take a nap. Gotta take a nap. Whoops. Keyboard. Yeah. Sleep. Let's read the chat. I don't recognize these terms because I don't play very many spam levels. Yep, just like me. I guess it's for the better, you know? Not everyone's built for those kinds of levels. Yeah, well, as much as it sucks that the old physics have to go, sometimes you just have to, like, accept that. You know, there's, like, some counter arguments that people can make. If the old physics remained in 2.2, like, if those were never changed, if they were never tempered even slightly, the game could potentially be buggier. So, you just have to get used to them at some point, right? Oops, cobblestone. Okay, so let's fly in that direction. I gotta activate my chunk loader in a special stronghold. Like that. Now we have peaceful mode in the overworld. Until I quit the game, of course. If I just leave the game and join back in, that chunk loader won't work anymore. I have to like reactivate it. The only lists that I pay attention to nowadays are ARE, DL, and GDDP, especially since I'm a trial manager in the GDDP. Oh, I also use GDDP as well. I think I discovered that like 4 years ago and I still use it to this day. I was actually having plans on going for like the lowest or the highest Jade tier or Emerald tier extreme. I think it's called Timor. I have that I have that level in like 2 runs, and from what I can remember, I have like 41 from 0 and 36 to 100 by some miracle. Now, I am prepared for the worst, of course, because the ending of that level is notoriously awful. So, I think if I were to stream frequently, like streaming that level until I beat it for a couple days, if I return to the game, it's gonna end up being a lot more enjoyable. I heard of Zodiac dropping off. It does suck, but it was inevitable. Yeah, well, the game just keeps expanding on, and sometimes things like these just have to go. I mean, either way, whether level is placed here or placed there, or regardless of where it is, the level still does give you skill for beating it. People shouldn't feel discouraged where the level used to be on a website. Oh, thank you. I thought I had to like use a firework rocket. But yeah, like I was saying, this kind of stuff is like... Wait, let me rephrase that. This topic is like explaining, or wait, let me rephrase that. My English is terrible when I'm speaking. Basically, this topic is like talking about ICDX, where the level became an insane demon and some people just stopped playing it. Like, they won't take an insane demon for an answer. Once an easy extreme turns into an insane demon, because the game has developed for well a while now, some people just drop it. Which I find kind of silly, because if you think about it, that level still does give you skill, no matter what. Hold on, I gotta scroll up over here. It won't change my plans, though. I plan to build up my skill again and have Acheron be my new ultimate goal. Not anytime soon, of course, but eventually. Well, I wish you the best of luck on that level, because I've seen how frustrating it can be, so you just have to be prepared for the worst. I've also been saying this for a while, I think. I feel like my ultimate like endgame goal, if that makes sense, would be Bloodlust. I managed to get like a 20 something practice run a couple months ago. I have nearly that level in 3 runs, and I'm still feeling pessimistic on going for that level. I feel like my main nitpick with that level is Nitrodox. Nitrodox's part is impossible. Microdox's part in Bloodlust is like 60% plus on Bloodbath, like that ball before Etzer, you know? I find that part to be pretty frustrating. I can't get consistent at it no matter what. I could have poured probably thousands of attempts, and 42 to 45 specifically never gets consistent. Yeah, I've been playing Bloodlust for like a couple thousand attempts, and I kind of have like mixed feelings about it. My mindset is, if Acheron doesn't set me up for the verifications I want to get from the game, literally nothing will, lol. I mean, you are already in a pretty good shape, you know? Even if you haven't beaten Acheron, you are still set for basically every verification now, given the levels you have beaten. Wait, what's your current hardest again? My current hardest is still Erebus, you know, by Rustum. Like this one. Like that level. I have beaten that like nearly 3 years ago by now. I have beaten that in 2023 by some miracle. Truth be told, I have also beaten that level on my mom's birthday. Which is not exactly what I've planned, but given the awful experience I've had with that level, I just wanted to have it done, like, as soon as possible. It was giving me all kinds of bad things, like nausea, headache. It was just bad for the environment. And luckily for me, I have beaten it, like, what, 3 months ago, before 2.2 release? Because if I haven't beaten it before 2.2 release, I likely never would have. Let's pick this up. Now place spot here, and there we go. Let's see how much work we have done. It looks decent. We have some sectors over there. That's gonna take like a couple hours, but I'm down. You could do what I'm doing. Find some levels that slowly ramp up in difficulty and progress up that ladder until you're confident enough to do a new hardest. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, like, ever since like 2020. I found the concept of jumping to levels kind of silly, you know, because here's the thing, if you jump from like the nightmare to something like, I don't know, let's say the golden. Sure, beating the golden is a big achievement, but beating the golden just... Wait, let me rephrase that. When you play a level for thousands of attempts, that means you're only good at that specific level, you know? Like, if you're not playing anything else, you only have muscle memory on that level you're jumping to. If that makes sense. If you have a good mindset, of course, then maybe jumping doesn't sound so bad. Why does this door keep on opening? Like, I started my comeback doing levels that are like easier than top 1k, then did notable achievements like Subsonic, Zafkiel, Black Blizzard, and Sonic Wave. Good stuff, my friend. Good stuff. If you can beat Sonic Wave without going insane, I commend you. Like, that level is... That level is... It's not really for everyone. I have said that I would go for that level as like my ultimate hardest at the time. Oh, there's more concrete. But given how bad and unforgiving that level is, I probably wouldn't consider going for it. Now we gotta play some more. Yeah, now sorting this stuff out will be a nightmare. Silk touch, like that. There's some more stuff. I found sort of a passion to listen to more music. Well, we have something in common then. I listen to music pretty much daily. I may have fluked Sonic Wave from 75. That's impressive. That's really impressive because the last wave is extremely chokeable. Like, I have seen so many people die from zero because of it's just such a chokeable last wave, you know? There are just so many tiny spots that can kill you so easily. Not just because the level is difficult, but also because of bad nerve control, you know? It's not something everyone happens to have. Fluked Sonic Wave from 75 and on the same stream as 75. What a coincidence. I also re-listened to the STEM Player Donda 2. God, it's so boring. Unfinished mess. Get Lost doesn't even sound like a song just talking with autotune. Sorry, but I'm not that kind of Ken Yi fan anymore. It's fun in games until you realize what Yi is doing is stupid. My nerve control has gotten so much better. I didn't feel nervous on my completion attempt until the final spam. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. Developing that really is commendable because if you don't have like a good nerve control, the rest of the level becomes a decent chunk harder. Not physically, but like, you know, psychologically, if that's the right word I'm looking for, you know? It's not like the easiest skill to master, you know? I just want to empty this. Oh, there's a bit more. What? Who put that dirt in there? Was it an Enderman? That could have been an Enderman. These guys like to steal dirt. And I so got to re-listen to Donda, and yes, the deluxe version, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes. Jesus. That is not a very short amount of time. While the longest I've listened to is if looks could kill. 83 minutes still. Both are gonna be boring. Pretty much. Hopefully with the new hardest I'm planning, my nerve control can remain as strong. I have a lot I wanna do after then. Well, good luck with whatever you're planning to do in this game. Or in GD at least, of course. I think I'll probably return to GD someday in the future, but I can't really make that promise, you know? I don't want to make promises I cannot keep. I'm just saying that if by some miracle I get that spark that brings me back into the game, one day I might consider returning. But for now, I'm just going to be playing this game for the sake of convenience. If I haven't developed the amount of knowledge that I have in this game, then I wouldn't have anything to do, really. Ooh, okay, thank you. That's a lot of concrete. Now let's place that here so that we know that if I'm confused about a dirt block, this dirt block will be here. And I hope that an Enderman won't place it into the hopper next time. Not gonna lie, I have a problem with what game I would be interested in. Minecraft Dungeons was fun, just like replaying it seems kind of boring. I mean, yeah, I can't blame you for that. You know, when you keep doing something over and over, it's bound to get boring pretty quickly. I didn't know you had a stacked hardcore world. Well, Minecraft is the only game I'm playing nowadays. So there's that. And welcome to the stream, Lava Z. Heated example, but Minecraft 2. I beat the game. We did a lot of Flint Scooper recipes. What else can I say? Yup. Whoops, dirt block. I can't blame you, you know. Quitting the game for some time if you don't find it as interesting anymore is not a bad decision. You shouldn't feel ashamed for that at all. Doing something over and over will cause you to get depressed eventually. If nobody is forcing you to like play the game, then it doesn't hurt to just, you know, stop for some time until you feel like playing it again. This is exactly what I'm doing. Shouldn't feel guilty if you're not really interested into playing the game anymore. Holy crap, that's so much loot. That's a lot of loot. What else can I say off and on? SMPs as a whole have just died out. Yeah, well, it's a sad sight. You know, the best moments in life are celebrated only one time. Life is supposed to be lived to the fullest, you know? Not depressed, just drained. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. The shit in a kettle meme, bro. Peak humor, me when I lie. If you want some time, I can invite you to my new friend group on Discord. According to some of them, being amongst pals like them has motivated them to do more big GD things. Well, I mean, if you're comfortable with adding me to your Discord group, I suppose you can. I just don't want to like pressure you into such things. Like if you're not comfortable with adding me to your group chat, it's understandable. But I will still try to like, be of some help. Whenever possible, that is. Ooh, that looks cool. Like, we have friends in there who have beaten the Golden, Bloodlust, Connect, and some of the levels I mentioned earlier. Alright. I've known you for a long while, I trust you, and I think you'll fit right in. Alright. Oh, welcome to the stream, Donex. Welcome, my friend. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to the wrong people in the wrong places. Me too, man. I feel like the who is this meme responding to that. But I don't need to beg you for mega hack. Well, now I think that's kind of like a pointless topic nowadays because we also have Geode and you have access to whatever mod menu you want. There's mods like Eclipse, for example. Eclipse has nearly everything that Mega Hack version 8 has. It doesn't really make a difference. Now, drop that, put that in. We're all very supportive of each other regardless of what we're working on. We even have friends actively working on Minecraft mods while others focus on GD, lol. The correct people I've also talked to are gone now. But yeah, if you want a group of friends to nudge you in the right direction when it comes to GD projects, you'd be in the right name if you don't mind the group name. It's not inappropriate, but it is questionable. Oh, I understand. I also make GD levels nowadays with levels with obscure questionable names. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. I never really quit GD. I've just steered my focus to other things, like Minecraft, for example. Minecraft is like a very stress-free game once you know what you're doing. I think I could only fill only this row. I have filled only this row of shulkers. So there's that. This row of double chests are all empty. We'll return to these at some point in the future. I think the correct people to talk to are the people who can genuinely comprehend and understand what your thoughts are about. And I've only met one person who had that property. Why do you need the concrete anyway? Oh, well, I just made that farm for like fun. I was also planning on building one obscure, huge structure with all the concrete I had. Like somewhere back in like 2019, when I was downloading Minecraft APKs off of random sources, what I liked to do was to make like a huge tower, make it rain, and inside of that tower I put lots of chickens, like as much chickens as I want. And I found that surprisingly calming at the time. Like it's just a huge green box with yellow concrete as the floor. You know, something that also serves as like a carpet. And the place where I would sleep in that hotel would be like in the roof. I know that sounds pretty obscure, but yeah, that's what I've been doing about 7 years ago from now. Just for the sake of like memories. Just breed lots of chicken in that hotel and boom, memories back. The group name is just Brown. Alright. I'm gonna sound like an emotional person, but sometimes I feel like I'm just in the wrong timeline. I know this is pretty dated, but I apologize for what I did to Elisa. All I got was just, who cares, it was 2021, it's fine. Fella, I did it so I didn't have to deal with leaving this with any trace. All I just wanted to do is to forgive. I went ahead and sent you an invite to the server. No pressure, of course. Join whenever you'd like. Okay. Well, thank you. I'll consider joining like once I finish the stream. Well, there goes my last sponge. Time to dry it all in the nether. And yeah, my elytra is at an all-time low in terms of durability, so we gotta fix that. And I know just how. Oh my, this thing has been running for quite some time. Let's see if this will be enough to fix my elytra. Okay, it's getting repaired. Oh no, that's the Fletcher. Here's this guy. Tip 7 still uploads. He was whipping up delicious soup in a kettle. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I think I still tend to like visit that guy's channel on occasion. It's like that Russian, or not Russian, but Korean player that has been completing some levels for quite some time. Guess now I gotta wait for villagers to restock. This design is very human villager trading hall. Yeah, well, truth be told, now that you mention it, I wanted to like make an actual trading hall where villagers aren't just trapped here, you know? I was thinking of placing my trading hall like somewhere like way over here. I place ladders going up to the top and I place all my villagers inside this box. And I place iron doors here so that pillagers want to go in. So that they don't get killed. Especially because this has actually happened like once already. The art of watching channels you used to be a fan of is different. Isn't that just most farms or aka Chinese learning type stuff? Yeah, well, it depends on how you look at it. I once had a mending villager in which I guessed from what exact moment I'm going to get a mending books. Like I'm once scrolling through trades, I'm constantly slapping down lecterns in front of the same villager, and then I once get the instinct of saying mending. And when I looked up the trade, it showed up mending, and I started laughing like there was no tomorrow. But unfortunately, that villager was killed by the pillagers. Because I didn't secure the place well enough. Now let's just mine all of this sponge, or mine all these sponges. Just mine them up. Flynn, can you play Counter-Strike today? Later, I assume Pixel will play. I've asked Bowses and he said most likely. Yeah, we can play Counter-Strike tomorrow, today if you'd like to. Assuming you won't be busy, that is. It's been like a whole month since the last time we've played, so we're going to see if some of us are still like rusty and stuff. I probably still will be, of course, since I don't really play Counter-Strike as often. But we'll find out, of course. Fate might have other plans in mind. Bruh, I think this is a pretty good problem to have with all of this concrete. I have a couple shulker boxes full of this stuff. Alright, then I ain't busy, I got nothing to do. Alright. Yeah, I do remember, but my headphones have basically stopped working, like, ever since 2022, I believe. And besides, whenever I try to plug the headphones into my PC thinks that my headphones are the speakers, so speakers just decide to stop working. And besides, I don't know if my parents will be calling me, so I feel very hesitant on using headphones. Of course, headphones have their pros and cons. But if my headphones were like, you know, still working, I would consider using them for like whenever we play Counter-Strike. Oh Jesus, that's a lot of water that has to go. That's a lot. I hope I don't get lost down here. Okay, thank you. I think I'm gonna have to like empty all of those chests in my spawn chunks where my concrete farm is. That's so relatable. The headphones, yeah. I tried playing with the white ones that suck now. Yeah, like whenever I plug my headphones into the PC, the speakers that are working right now just decide to like give up. And I've barely managed to fix my actual speakers myself at the time, so I'm feeling very hesitant on using them. Wait, hold on, I can place this right here. Now let's place all of the double chests. Like somewhere like way over here. Something like this is where I'm gonna be keeping all this concrete. Like for example, this double chest will be for red concrete, this one for yellow, green, blue, purple, and black maybe. I wanna get better ones to have a better sound quality and such, obviously. Well, yeah, of course. Whatever sounds better for you, you can buy it if you'd like to. Okay, so we have these. Now I'm gonna have to mine this with a hoe. And then 8 here. I don't think that much chests will be enough. Okay. I forgot that I've done some deforestation. the other day. Oops. Now we gotta make those chests. 2, 3, 4. Can you place some more? I'm gonna sound stupid for this, but vacation really isn't vacation in reality. I mean, back when I gonna end elementary, like 6th or 8th grade somewhere, it wasn't bad, but I just feel way too bored. Oh, I get that feeling. I get that feeling. I can relate. You're not alone in that department. I think this one will be for blue. This is where all of the concrete will go. I'm willing to empty all of those chests into spawn chunks where my concrete farm is, so that I can use it for sand. My interest in talking to people just fell down to 0. Again, I might just be complaining. That means you have too much free time. Exactly. Nothing to be ashamed of on that topic. And you have a lot of free time. Ooh, here we go. Now is the time to empty all of those shulker boxes full of concrete. I'm gonna have so much fun emptying these out. Now there goes yellow. Yellow can go in this one. Then green will go in that one. Purple will go in that one. And blue will go in that. Me actually sorting stuff out? That's impossible. Red, there goes yellow. Let's sort these out. I think the ones for like black concrete will be like placed somewhere like way over here. I'll delete these 2 torches, and yeah, that's how I planned it to be. Maybe, but again, I'm on vacation, as this proves nothing. What was the last time we had a good top 1? Thinking Space 2? Crazy to say that. Not gonna lie, I feel like Society. I could see why it could be a good top 1. Not bullshit like Tidal Wave. This, that green, purple, like that. Now we break that one, place it into the ender chest. None of the latest top 1s are even mid. Thinking Space 2 is such a good top 1. I think Acheron could be a good example. Society, Grief, Amethyst, Thinking Space 2, Tidal Wave, Slaughterhouse. Acheron is mid though. Yeah, I mean, I guess Acheron is pretty average. Slaughterhouse is caught as just generic wave gameplay. But I won't deny that Ice Cave's goated. Again, not too many. I thought that was my Wi-Fi. No, everything's fine. My internet connection has been pretty whack for the past few days. So nothing to like stress over, you know? Firework was a good top 1. He is just that influential, but again, some might disagree with this, but that's okay. I wish Kurumi verified Firework, to be honest. I mean, yeah, Kurumi had like the potential of like verifying it at the time. Zodiac was a good top 1 though, probably. But Trick was definitely a deserved verifier. Now Kurumi is just known for throwing slurs. He spammed the hard R like multiple times to, let me check, that level. This Artemis 13 level straight slop. It isn't as ugly as Tidal Wave and Society are, but it's so forced. And yeah, a Zoink verification, a classic. Yup. Put that in there. And I'm gonna read the chat really quick. A 50-50. Either his opinion is just incorrect, or I have no idea. Zoink has been taking L's left and right. He is just using his expertise as the best player. Well, yeah, pretty much. First, the Cosmos Unleashed drama BS, now the bloop thing. The bloop is also straight up slop as a level. Yeah, I agree with that. Isn't that just blue Kinos? That's what I wanted to ask as well. This, that, that in, this. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Like that. Place that in. Let's read the chat. It is a blue Kinos ripoff, yeah. Yup. Sort the blue ones. Purple. Lots and lots of colored building blocks. And wow, I actually emptied this out surprisingly quickly. As much as I hate destroying these two torches, these will have to go. So we can add another row of double chests. This will be for like the black concrete, I think. Or just any concrete that isn't red, yellow, green, purple, and blue. Most genuinely talented creators don't even interact with the public community. They're forced to sit in their own niche communities. Something came to mind. Why don't we post previews again? Start posting, I mean. It used to be a thing, but just suddenly died out. Previews of your levels on YouTube. Isn't that still a thing, though? Like, that's still, like, happening to this day. Things might have changed while I was absent, so I don't have all the knowledge, of course. Wait, I have an idea. There we go! Saving on sponges. Okay, maybe that wasn't a save on sponges. Okay, but I know what will be a save. That one. Climb up here, find a flat area, there we go. If we want to drain all of these water-filled sectors, we gotta lock in. Okay, that one has dissipated. Place that here. Put that in there. Put that in here. We can now just fix this up. Oh no, I guess we're gonna have stubborn water over here. I don't really see many as of lately. Well, things are just like, it's just not happening like as frequently. Level previews are, still a thing. No, they're still getting posted to this day. Okay, now we're gonna have angry salmon over here. Once we drain this sector, we're gonna see how many we have left, although we have a lot of work to do. So I wouldn't be getting my hopes up too soon. I have chosen a pretty nasty location for a future perimeter. There's just nowhere to go. Like, this savanna slash river is my last hope. Well, let's just go up and see how much work we have left. A pretty obscene amount. We've got some work to do over here. Let's see, is something in down here? It is! Or not, I guess I can just do that. Well, I celebrated too early. Let's get to work, I guess. These sectors won't drain themselves. that. Place some more over there. There's some more down there. It's gonna take a while to fully remove. One step at a time. One teensy tiny step at a time, and we're gonna make it. So it's that sector, in the middle. Just go down here. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work of excavating. And after I drain all of this water from these sectors, here's something that's going to take like 2 or 3 times the time I would spend otherwise. You can see there's this beam at the bottom of the world. This gives me haste 2. So once I'm done draining all that water, the next step will be to, you know, do that, dig out these trenches down to the bottom of the world so I can put water in, so that the walls don't get destroyed when the flying machines start destroying all the land. This is no big deal. This usually only takes up like 12 hours. The time does pass pretty quickly if I have something to listen to. Once I have these beacons, I can insta-mine every single block before the deep slate layer. Once I get to deep slate, things will go south really quickly. Yeah, well, from what I have been doing, digging this trench, or these trenches, in total takes like 12 hours. This is from what I learned from a tutorial from Shulkercraft. If I want to have flat walls, we gotta dig this trench all the way down to the bottom of the world. We know exactly where it begins. Look at the bright side though, we get lots of blocks for free this way. Now the only question is, how am I going to sort all of those blocks? I guess I could use them for patching up tiny holes in these sectors. But you know, no need to rush anything. Like that. Okay. I think we have one more stack. Yeah, one more stack of sponges, then we gotta insta dry them in the nether. So no need to waste time on furnaces. Okay, no big spots, no big spots. Okay. Let God sort them out. Not gonna lie, I do enjoy doing similar stuff. I used to actively play Minecraft with friends. Yup, just like me. Although only Pixel will get this reference. This is lore because I don't even listen to clips, I just know the album, of course. Oh, hello, Razzie. Welcome, my friend. How's your day going, my friend? It's been it's been a while since the last time we've talked. right now I am working on this thing. In this perimeter, I'm going to put something called a spider farm to get lots of spider eyes and an unlimited supply of string, so we don't have to worry about ever running out. SMPs are destined to die either way. The only thing that keeps SMPs alive are the players and their motivation. Not the resources or anything you do on the server. Why not just use a raid farm for those drops or a witch hut farm? Oh, I actually have both of those in this world. I could show you if you'd like to. Okay, let's see. Where is the beginning? Oh yeah, that's where the beginning is. So we gotta fly in this direction. I can show you like the one tidbit I have with having a witch farm. Or exactly where the location of it is. Oh yeah, there it is. There is my concrete farm. Like that. And over here, you see that giant cobblestone wall? That's actually where my witch farm is. So knowing that this right here, this block is the center of the spawn chunks, and then from this chunk you have to go 9 chunks in all directions, because those are the spawn chunks and these are always loaded. So let's go 9 chunks that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so from here, these are the spawn chunks, and that witch hut looks deceptively close to those spawn chunks. I wouldn't want to have this thing running all the time. And yeah, we get this beautiful noise of minecarts going back and forth. I get quite a few drops over here, but this is pretty slow. Didn't they reduce the spawn chunk size with the newer updates, or did you manually update the game rule to have a higher radius? I feel like that was actually changed in newer versions, although I haven't really been tampering with the game rules, like ever since I've made this world. And I also do have a witch, or which I have a raid farm that takes care of all of my supply of basically everything. Like that. Like there's glowstone dust, this is for gunpowder, this is for redstone, but it was emptied out. There is another way I can farm redstone, I can show you. I have made a farm that also gives me redstone that doesn't use a witch hut. You'll understand really quickly. Like once I reach that location. It's not too far away. I'm gonna use nether portals for quicker transportation. And since I have built that mini super smelter at my base, I can finally start farming smooth stone. No, it's like this giant floating thingy in front of my house. Well, here we go. It's in that direction. Here is the farm that takes care of basically everything. Although, speaking of which, I could have lost this world a few days ago from using this farm just by doing nothing. Yup, you heard it right. So here's how it works. The mobs get teleported to this portal. From the overworld portal to that portal, it was raised all the way up to the build limit to ensure that no zombie with feather falling boots or a skeleton with feather falling boots can survive the fall. This is as high as it can go. And we have these item pushers that must always be running. Oh look, there's a couple zombie pigmen. Item pushers, they get aligned here, items get pushed here, and then this thing also pushes items all the way there. So here's what the farm looks like in the overworld. And luckily for me, I have built this farm in the desert. It's in this thing right over there. And once we go down, you're going to see this monstrosity here. I go all the way down. And below me there is 441 boats. You can see in this counter which says E, which stands for entities. And there is over 400 boats in here. And this was probably the most annoying part of building the farm, because I've already placed tinted glass before dispensing the boats, so I had to be very careful. This is basically just like the method says creeper farm, but with trapdoors removed. So this allows skeletons and witches to spawn, and the occasional zombie. But they don't spawn as frequently because this is in a desert. Actual smart individual. I feel stupid only knowing one or two. By the way, I forgot to tell you something. CCL Iceberg script has started yesterday. Alright. Haven't heard of that community in a long time. Feels refreshing hearing about it now. Well, we'll see what the end product looks like once it's finished. Ooh, that looks pretty fishy. I'm not getting near that bedrock. And this thing right here is a system to get rid of baby zombies and maybe the occasional zombified piglin down there. But the height of this system has to be extended upwards. Like once this gets emptied, since this is an evil hopper clock, this will open this fence gate in a few seconds. Yeah, like that. So this system pushes me up so that the occasional zombie baby zombie and chicken jockey can just despawn. Yeah, see, the counter went back to 441, so only boats are loaded. And this keeps going every 50 something seconds. There's that one more zombified piglin. And yeah, there's that. You have to go in the same direction where the soul sand is, so that means we have to go west. Well, let's see. And I have also decorated these by putting an item frame here and an item on each item frame to show me what each item is designed for. And yeah, I also get redstone from this farm. And these are the somewhat occasional drops. And this is a filterless row of chests. I also do get like spider eyes from this, but it's pretty slow. So having a spider farm makes spider eyes basically free. Although, if anyone is still watching the stream, I do have a question to like ask. If anyone's like, still, if anyone can still hear this voice, a question that came to my mind is if I were still streaming, if I were still to like stream, but without using my microphone and instead using the chat to communicate, would you guys like, still watch me? The reason I'm like, asking this is because whenever my dad comes back from work, he always keeps criticizing or telling me how loud I am. So the only way I can really communicate without any interruptions is to just use the chat. Alright. Let's just dry the sponges, since we can, of course. We make a nice little rectangle over there. One, two, three. Holy crap, my netherite hoe is on pretty low durability. From what I'm seeing. So here's the thing. If I were to like, still stream, if I wanted to stream consistently, would you guys like, still watch me if I used the chat to communicate as opposed to using a microphone? Because you know how frequently I get criticized by my dad for how loud I am whenever he gets back home from work. So the only way I could really fix this problem, or as like a partial solution, is to just use the chat to communicate in order to stream more frequently. Alright. Because I was also planning on making a stream tomorrow, of course. But in exchange of using a microphone, I'll just like, use the chat to talk with you guys like in the good old days. Like, you know how frequently I mentioned like just how much I was criticized for just talking. I was always criticized that I'm being too loud, have to take it down a notch, and none of these worked. So the only way I can fix that is to just use the chat to talk. Ow. Let's get to draining. That sector has been drained. We have a lot of work to do. I have chosen a pretty crappy spot. Unfortunately, let's quickly do this. Oh, brother. Not gonna lie, being afraid of getting yelled at for being loud is why I never use voice chat. Well, I guess that's reasonable. You never know, like, who's going to start yelling at you. It's gonna start, screaming in your ear. So better safe than sorry. Now we have to do that, and all the water dissipates. So gotta do some of that over there. In what order did you get yelled at? Wait, are you asking me or are you asking Lava Z? Yeah, I have picked it up, thank you. This thingy looks chaotic. I just like to scream a lot when I'm playing with friends. Oh, well that explains it. It will get on some people's nerves when one keeps screaming, Holy crap, that's so much water. If only there weren't these dripstone caves, we would be alright. If these dripstone caves just weren't here, we would be smooth sailing. And all of that has to be drained. All of that water has to go. Because TNT hates water. Water mixed with TNT is bad civilization. Whew. I'm gonna drain this sector really quick, and then I'm gonna transport all of the concrete back to my base from the spawn chunks. Like that. Now we go here. This dissipates. Holy crap. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. I was starting to get discouraged by the amount of water that there is. Okay, so let's throw the junk over there, like that. Oops. We've still got a long work. We've still got a lot of work to do to drain all of this. Still a long way up there. Yeah, I also have this sword. I've been pulling my hair out over getting fire aspect 2 on this sword, just to light things up on fire. I've been just scouting through the enchantment table, just desperately hoping to get fire aspect 2. I was just pulling my hair out, trying to find fire aspect 2, and the next thing I do is I go up here, and then there's this like double chest here. I open it, and then there's Fire Aspect 2 book. And then I spent the next 5 minutes re-evaluating my life choices. Over 200 levels were wasted just over Fire Aspect. I've been pretty free lately and I just can't find anything entertaining to do. Well, I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I guess that's reasonable, you know? Some things can get pretty boring after a while. You're not imagining things, so it's all reasonable. I can still open it. Thank you. And now I put that in there. Put this in here. Put that in there. Put this in here. Time to chop that one. Put that in there. Like most of the day, I just watch YouTube, find songs to add to my personal playlist, and wait for friends to ask to play. We're in the same boat in that department. My life has also shifted a pretty decent amount ever since I've graduated. There's just hardly anything else to do. And now place some of that in there. Put that in there. Now we gotta transport all of these items. It's gonna be just fantastic. Okay, there's some more items there. Yeah, I understand how that feels. Things used to be so much like, more lively when you were younger and stuff. But now it's pretty difficult to find many interesting things. Like when you keep doing something over and over, things are bound to get boring pretty quickly. Just gotta find something to do. Nowadays, I'm just watching Minecraft content on Brave. And yeah, that's really all there is when I'm scouting through internet. Green goes in there. Some more of these there. Blue goes up in here. I guess every day I do go for walks, so it's still somewhat healthy. It is, it is. You're not imagining things. That is a pretty healthy thing to do. Not everyone would like to do that type of stuff, but if you do have that, habit, it's still beneficial even if it doesn't feel like it. Now do these. Will I have enough? I will. Thank you. Place some more of these. These go there. These go in here. We have 2 more shulker boxes. Blue goes in here. Purple. If I ever need some concrete, this thing's got it covered. Look on the bright side though. We have to drain 1 more row of double chests. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Let's quickly go and drain it. Drain. Dude, I gotta start using chat to communicate. My English is horrendous when I'm talking. But when I'm using the chat, I actually have the time to like fix a sentence that sounds wrong. Any green ones? Yes. Green goes here. Blue. Purple. Okay, so that has been drained. Drained. Jesus Christ. How do I have an A on English, but I speak it like garbage? My English is awful. Quite literally. When I'm speaking English inside of my head, this is Shakespeare levels of English. But when I actually speak English like I'm doing right now, yeah, things go south really quickly. I don't know, but something I will admit is that I have learned English with the help of the internet. If I wasn't on the internet as much as I am nowadays, I would probably still be competing to get a C or even a D in English. But given how much I've been on the internet, English is basically like my second language. I can't imagine speaking English. It is really difficult. Wait, I'm gonna sort some of these out so I can still pick it up. Okay! It looks like we got all the concrete. Now is the time to duplicate sand. Dude, same. Well, we have something in common then. I wouldn't have been an English major if I didn't start watching English videos on YouTube. Same. I've been using the internet for like countless years now. God knows how many years there have been since I've started using the internet, but yeah. If I wasn't using the internet nowadays, or if I just wasn't using the internet in general, I don't think I would be streaming right now, or at least speaking English as fluently. Okay, so shulker box, shulker box, shulker box, shulker box. Shulker box, shulker box, shulker box, shulker box. So let's place them down and sort out the items. That one's empty. Why did I mine a double ender chest? Blue concrete, yellow concrete goes in that one. Some extras. Blue and purple. Set that up there. Yellow. Hello. We gotta see like what color of concrete we have the most. Do we have the most red concrete, yellow concrete, green concrete? I don't know. We're just gonna check. My hard guess is going to be red. But we'll find out sooner or later. Last shulker box. Here we go. Well, there we have it. All the concrete has been delivered. So this is how much red concrete we have. That's yellow concrete. We have the most yellow concrete. It's actually surprising. I thought it was gonna be red. Now let's just take a nap. And we're gonna start our gravity block factory. And we have to change some things, of course. I need to find a suitable bed. There it is. Like that. And now I need sand. I have like shitloads of those at my disposal. So here's what we're gonna do. We have to first flick to one trapdoor in our spawn chunks over here. Okay, we go over there, and oh, actually, never mind, there's some more extra concrete. You just have to flick this trapdoor. You just gotta deliver it. Whew. Then we're gonna start the sand factory. A factory of sand. Hold on a second. That goes in here. This one here and this one here. Who even learns English in school when you have social media? True facts. Let's see if we can start our sand factory now. We have to make sure of some things first. We have to place a bed, click on it, and break it. So that when we go back into the overworld, we are in our spawn chunks. Yeah, well, there is my obsidian farm that I just farm for shits and giggles. You wouldn't dare! You wouldn't dare! You wouldn't dare! You wouldn't dare! Never mind. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we are. So all we have to do is flick this lever. There we go! Now, of course, when I want to collect the sand, before I go back into the overworld, I have to flick this lever. But over here, this gets me 48,000 sand. And unfortunately, I can't make this any faster. This one module is as fast as it can go. And unfortunately, this would mess with my Wither Rose farm. And I would feel bad for tearing it all down. So, in the meantime, should I just chat with you guys until I'm satisfied with how much sand I'll be getting from this? Elite ball knowledge from watching Minecraft videos. Yep. I have made a little change. This will be my gravity block duper. And this thing in the distance over there is my obsidian farm. Okay, I feel like I'm satisfied with that. I'm gonna have to stop it, go back to the overworld. And let's see. Woohoo! Look at how much sand we're getting. Oh, there's the red concrete powder. Yeah, so that's how it works. This gives us unlimited gravity blocks. There we go. That's how we get unlimited stuff. You might have more days than Luke the Notable if you play for long enough, maybe even SB737. Well, maybe. Although, I wouldn't be getting my hopes up about SB737, because I'm pretty sure that one of his hardcore worlds have about 10,000 plus days of age in their hardcore worlds, and I'm only about 1/3 of it there. This is also the first stronghold I've ever ran into in this world. And let me show you in advancements. Where is it? Where is that? Where is that advancement? Yeah, I got this advancement. It spreads before killing the Ender Dragon. Although, yeah, I do have all the advancements. Like, I got this one, which is like the hardest advancement to get in the game. You have all the husbandry advancements, all Minecraft advancements, the end advancements, adventure advancements. Basically everything as of 1.20. And flip the lever. Over here, I'm just going to chill. Yeah, I mean, at least that's what I remember. I think that 10,000 day hardcore world that I'm talking about from SB737, I think he jumped into the void in that world when he has done basically everything he could in the world, so he decided to throw all of that progress into the void. Although, if you also like to know, given my near 3,660 day hardcore world, I have started this world in like early March. And this is about the second most played world that I have ever made. I've also had a 2,300 something day hardcore world before this one, but I lost it because I was an idiot. Because I was AFKing on top of a moving flying TNT duper. So of course I was a little bit depressed. So I had to take a break for some time because it was pretty depressing. So I have learned a lesson. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, he faked that. Oh, he faked that. I get it. I thought it would be like overboard. 10,435, so I'm only like 1/3 in. I have some stuff planned for this world, of course. I got this far in on such a crappy seed too, so I don't want to lose this world. There's BSS players with 3+ years of playtime. Jesus. Well, that's a lot. Maybe in those 3 years I could probably get this world to like 10,000 in-game days. As long as I have something to like do in this world, then we're smooth sailing. Bee Swarm Simulator. Ah, I get it now, I get it now. Since the little TV had stopped working, I'm gonna quickly do nice one of these. And there we go. Wait, I think my phone's still charging. Oh, it's full! My phone is full from charging. Crap, I haven't even realized. I put my phone on the charger like 2 hours ago and I haven't even realized it. I forget people still play that. Though I think most of the time they're just macroing. Fair. Not like you're talking to someone who's lost interest in Roblox. Well, if there are people who are in, you know, that stage when they lose interest in playing something, I can't blame you. If you're one of those, then it's pretty reasonable. Losing interest in Roblox is pretty reasonable. Given how the world has developed over the past couple of years, some things are bound to go down. It's even worse, especially if, like, you play a game for a long time that you really like, and then the next time it gets updated, it's completely gone. It's so far gone that you just don't want to play it again. This is kind of like what happened with GD on the aspects of physics. I have seen numerous posts on Reddit talking about how disastrous the physics are in 2.2. Like, in 2.2, you just can't straight line with a default office mouse anymore. Those days are long gone, unfortunately. The problem with this is that the ship in 2.2 is a lot more floaty, whereas in 2.1 it was a bit heavy, and for some reason that was considered a bug at the time, so that had to be fixed. And Rocket got bombarded with people saying bring back the 2.1 physics and stuff like that. 2.2 physics are inferior, 2.2 physics have to go. 2.2 is pay to win. The ship in 2.2 is pay to win. The 2.2 ship is revolting. You get it. We won't go too deep into detail because you already know that. It's really a shame. Sometimes some things just have to go. Although I would argue that Counter-Strike went through the same fate. However, Valve released a legacy Counter-Strike so that people can play the old version of the game, you know, where the hit rate in that game isn't a joke, and you can actually play with people you like. Now it's not bad for the environment anymore. Oh well, it is what it is. some people find 2.2 be like a mixed bag. Like some things have improved for the better. Some things that have changed in 2.2 are now so much better. Some people say the complete opposite, and you know, you get that kind of stuff. The experience in GD will always be different for everyone. As sad as it is, Rob is only a detriment to the game. He's the reason levels can stay unrated for years. That's without an exaggeration. Exactly. Overall, some people might just not want to play GD because the game can be pretty stressful. Despite appearances, GD can be a pretty dangerous game. You know, like there's some people that have beaten levels with over 220 BPM. Like one Future Punk player, that when he beat Future Punk, he had a 220 beats per minute, according to his heart rate monitor. And that's pretty dangerous, you know? When you keep doing something over and over, you're bound to get depressed from it eventually. The same way the game is even buggier than before is because he doesn't want anyone else to have even a bit of control over the game. Exactly. Oh well, 2.2 has existed for well over 2.5 years at this point. I think changing the physics to the old ones is kind of pointless, unfortunately. Because Robtop, from what he said, he lost the code for the 2.1 physics. So now we have to deal with 2.2 physics as is. I lost the yellow one. Oh well. Wait, I actually didn't lose a yellow one. The yellow one was used for making the actual contraption. GD can also bring carpal tunnel or repetitive strain injury. Exactly. It isn't every GD player's fate. Well, after playing GD relentlessly like every single day, especially when you're playing levels with high CPS, these kinds of things can actually, you know, happen. So it's better to take a break every once in a while. That Oh, we have a lot of stuff to do over there. If only this location wasn't so crappy, we would be smooth sailing otherwise. There's so much water in here. I swear, the scroll click doesn't work on YouTube chat anymore. It just straight up doesn't. I have to click the scroll wheel over there. I wanted to come back to the people thing. I really want to message Eliza, but nothing really comes in mind. Or just afraid. Dude, let's not do this. Again, I've never dated anyone ever and I don't want to. And not to mention I'm a rose, but again. But who is she? I just haven't caught up with many things. Doesn't mean every person who's a rose doesn't date. But formerly Charlotte. I haven't voice called in like years. Well, I mean, if you don't feel like talking about a topic that makes you uncomfortable, you don't really have to, like, you know, talk about it. I hate this amount of water. Okay, I mean, at least it does have an end. It does have an end. Oh my goodness, we might actually be able to drain this water eventually. That's a lot of water though. It's intimidating, I'll admit that. But given that we have a working sand duper and an obsidian farm, we are gonna be smooth sailing. Holy crap, this elytra looks awful. We have to fix this right now. We gotta go over there in order to fix this problem. Not in front of that gas farm over there. Gotta go over there. Yeah, there it is. Here is the item repairing farm. I gotta fix my stuff. We have lots of angry pigs up there. Okay, don't fall into the minecarts. Just get to the point. Again, it's not something romantic, I'm not into that. You know, I don't know what's been going on between you two, but you should think about what she has to do with you specifically. Like you've known her for 5 to 6 years. You keep thinking about her and shit, but nothing ever happens between you. Exactly. I don't. You bring her up a few times every now and then. Yup. And well, Pixel, if you don't feel like talking about a topic that makes you uncomfortable, you know, nobody is forcing you into it. You can keep some topics just for yourself if you don't feel like sharing them to the public. Sometimes you never know the people that can use the stuff you say against you. Not everyone is like a lawful good person. Sometimes you can have people who are just using you. You know, some people just want to use you until they're satisfied with what they got from you. So, in short, be careful who you trust, of course. I don't always have thoughts about her, I'm just more comfortable with other people. Yeah, but for some reason she's relevant to you in 2026. Did you do something wrong in the past and now you want to apologize? Definitely. I already did apologize. Well, if she accepted your apology, well, why continue stressing? Keep stressing over it. I mean, sure, we tend to make mistakes every now and then, but you don't have to, like, think of yourself as if you have done some horrible monstrosity or something. It's likely not the first time either, you know? Like, I do have people I've known for years and I can talk to them once in a blue moon and I'm good on terms with them. Just let that shit go, gang. But I don't bring them up anywhere because it's just a person, so there must be a reason you keep bringing her up. I ain't suggesting anything but matter of fact. Like, do you wanna be friends again? We're on fine terms right now. I had no idea there was a stream going on, YouTube bugging. Oh well, it's not your fault, Mark. YouTube has gotten pretty crappy over the years, so it's not the first time. Are are we gonna play Counter-Strike soon, by the way? Yup. I mean, whenever you guys are feeling like comfortable, you know, I was thinking of like playing Counter-Strike once I finish the stream in maybe like 10 to 15-ish minutes. For the most part, this stream has been pretty good. I have drained some sectors, you can see behind me, like these lines here. I think you guys can see that. Over here, this 1, 2, 3 block whites. Rectangles are called sectors, and they were previously full of water. So I have drained a pretty sizable margin today, like these over there. And last night I have drained these. These were pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. These were full of water anyway, so these have to go. What are you making? I was thinking of turning this whole place, like this 20 by 20 place, into a giant perimeter for a future spider farm. Yup. I have made this sword that I'm hovering over, you know? So I wanted to like use it to the fullest. A huge spider farm so that I can fix my lack of string and spider eyes. Not gonna lie, streaming Minecraft and talking with you guys while I'm showing you guys how some things work and the stuff I've done in this world, it is pretty entertaining. Truth be told, I was thinking of making another stream tomorrow, like basically the same as this, where I'll be draining those sectors I've shown you guys like 2 minutes ago, like this thing. Although the trenching part might be best left off stream, you know, like this thing where I dig all the way down to the bottom of the world on 4 sides. I don't think you guys will be very entertained from watching me just hold left click and W for like 12 hours. It's basically like a talking stream with some gameplay in the background. Like one of those talking videos. Except they play Bed Wars or Skywars or some shit like that. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. I just be listening to music alone right now at this time. I'll keep coming back to your streams because your streams are the only things that remind me of the times when I didn't despise my life. Well, I am at least grateful that my streams or the stuff that I post on this channel will bring you guys some form of enjoyment. Even though I'm not exactly like, the most entertaining person in the world, but if I made your guys' day happy, of course, then I'm satisfied. That's exactly the reason why I stream in the first place. We have some gameplay in the background, and I interact with you guys. Whether we are making farms or some ridiculous monstrosities, we got it covered. It's the fact that it's you streaming. It doesn't have to be a specific game or anything. Yup. Speaking of which, I was also thinking of also streaming Minecraft tomorrow as well, but I'll be using chat to communicate because I always tend to get yelled at by my dad for being too loud when I'm talking, I probably mentioned this countless times already. But if I want to stream as consistently as I used to, unfortunately, using microphone to communicate will have to go. So using the chat is probably going to be a new way of communicating with you guys. As much as I very very pessimistic on that change, that's the only way around. Some people come watch streams for the content, and that's what people mostly do, like overall. Oh, hello, Fire Hydra. Welcome. Haven't been here for a while. How are you, bud? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. How has your life been over the past couple of months since the last time we've talked. We haven't talked in like months. And here it is. It's working. Shift F3, tech level entities. So we have skeleton, zombie, creeper, witch, zombie villager that used to be there. Wait, let's move back so we don't see those subtitles. We get basically every mob we want in here. This is not a time lapse. All the mobs get sucked into the boats and they go up to the nether, and in the nether they die from fall damage and we get their stuff. Now that exact farm could have corrupted my world the other day if I left it running for a bit longer. Yeah, that stuff that you see here will pile up and cause a ton of lag unless it's loaded. And this is where the mobs come through. Yeah, so it's like a mob farm that's a little bit overkill. Mobs get sucked up into the boats where they spawn in, and when they go through the nether, they allow more mobs to spawn, like you see there. And it turns out these guys can't see me through glass, which is a huge win. Oh, there we go. And now we use these item pushers. There we go. I feel like I've done a pretty good amount of job for today's stream. For last few years, I spent way more time on sports, gym, etc. Stuff like that. Just finished high school too, passed all exams, everything is going fine. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm glad that your life is going in the right direction. Like it should be. Like it should be for everyone else. Regardless of what you're, you know, doing, make sure that you are taking breaks when you feel like you have to. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you don't feel like doing something, just step away from it, regardless of like, you know, what you're doing. If nobody is forcing you into that type of stuff, just sit back and enjoy life to the fullest. If a game is making you stressed out, you can either, you know, just take a break from it or play something else. You know, whatever suits your needs. It doesn't have to be anything overkill or anything like insane or anything. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself, in short. There's all this stuff here. I'm a launch Counter-Strike, I guess. Alright. Nice base. Well, thank you. Even though it might look a little bit silly depending on the view from where you're looking at, it does have everything I'm ever going to need. If I want thousands of obsidian, this particular floating thingy over there has got it covered. I think I'll have enough obsidian that will last for like the entire game here. Like every single double chest here is full. So I can abuse dimension transportation from the nether. There's probably like 150,000 obsidian here. And yeah, this is how much obsidian I have. This is some 2B2T shit. Literally. It's hard to tell what am I going to do with so much obsidian, but I thought, what if I farmed like 1 million obsidian? So we can make some specific structure out of that if I'm interested into making something. Or if I want something to be perfectly like spawn proofed or explosion proof, obsidian's got it covered. When I think of it visiting you all guys, this stream, now I have a thought how fast time went by. Same. Time really does fly by when you're having fun. It's surprising and almost kind of sad how quickly time had like went by. Because back then I would stream whenever I want, but now things have changed a lot and now I can't really like stream on my uncle's PC anymore because of how ancient it has gotten. Like I give the computer, like my uncle's PC, a command to like watch a YouTube video and suddenly it starts overheating. It's so ancient. But oh well, I guess each machine has its limits. So whether he has the best PC in the world or the slowest, like the exact opposite, I gotta respect it no matter what. I can't expect it to do commands at the same pace my PC does. Oh well, to each their own. Well, I guess that should do it for today's stream, folks. I'm gonna quickly exit out, and there we have it. So these are the two worlds that I have. There it is. So we can cancel. I guess that should do it for today. Now I'm going to play Counter-Strike with my friends. Because of course I promised I'm going to play. Although before I go, I would like to mention a quick reminder. Tomorrow, if I have enough time, I'm going to make another stream, but I will use the chat to communicate. Just to serve as like a nice little protection from getting like yelled at by my parents for being too loud. It's a small trade-off. Some of you might not like it, but if I want to stream as consistently as I used to, we have to take that risk. So it's worth keeping in mind. Thank you guys for joining today. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well. If the stream does go off for some reason, it's either power going off or the internet going off. It's either one of these two things. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I've had a wonderful time.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. See you, everyone. Love you all.